I'm Liliana the Magnificent. Welcome back to my city, Dukes of Honey. This is part 2 of maximizing forge point production within your city. So the first thing that I want to talk about here is your daily quests. These renew every day. You choose between two options. A lot of times you can earn forge points, buildings that give forge points, army units, attack bonuses, things like that. So even though today there's nothing in here that I'm really going after, I can still use these buildings to sell in my antique dealer. But I'm still going to complete it because I want to go after the challenge chest. So this challenger's chest, you can earn forge points. It's a chance, but you could get 50 forge points, or there's this lovely Shrine of Knowledge. So Shrine of Knowledge gives you 1 forge point in your city. Try to stray away from the Shrine of Awe, which gives medals, and then the Shrine of Inspiration, which gives blueprints. You don't necessarily need those in your city. There's plenty of other areas to get those things. So Shrine of Knowledge, though, gives you forge point, and it's only a 2x2 area. It's a powerhouse. So those are wonderful to start off with. So these challenger chests is where you can find those. But there's also options to choose fragments for those, and those are within the daily quests. So you can get fragments in order to then get the Shrine of Knowledge. So that's the first thing that I wanted to chat with you about. The next is this new guild Battlegrounds. There is, like I said, you can get forge points by doing encounters in it, but there's also a new building called the Statue of Honor. Mine is only a level 2, but even at level 2, it gives me 3 forge points. But I'm going to pop into my inventory so you can see what it looks like at its max, which is a level 5. So at level 5, you will get 6 forge points. I'm thinking of a different one. 6 forge points for your Statue of Honor. In order to get those, every encounter that you do, you have a chance of getting a fragment. You need 200 fragments to get 1 kit, and then you can choose between either a level 1 or an upgrade. So that's one of the newest buildings. I highly suggest it. Not only is it great for you and forge points, but it's great for your guild and helping your guild to level, which impacts, like I had said, the forge points you get from your town hall. But anyway, next area is all about event buildings. And to talk about event buildings, we've got to talk about events. So Forge of Empires does lots of events throughout the year. There's always a specific currency to that event. So like this one is the stars, and you get those by doing quests. Well, there's also ones like doubloons, which is from the pirate. I love that word. But you use those currency within the event window to purchase various buildings, upgrades. Shrines of Knowledge are going to be things along with a rogue hideout for newbies, but you really only need 1 rogue hideout if you can get a Traz up. But a lot of my Shrines of Knowledge came from events. Those are really useful to just increase that maximum production in your city. Along with that, every event has a specific building. Like the winter event, this one is the train building. Mine is the maximum level right now, but I didn't place it into my city until I had all of the upgrades for it. And there's a specific reason as to why. So I actually have 2 in my city just to show you the difference. This is the Pillar of Heroes. This is its maximum upgrade level of an upgrade level 7, and it gives me 3 forge points for a 3x3 area. Now, I did also put, just so you can see, a pillar that's at a level 6 into my city. It only gives me 2 forge points for the area. Yes, it gives me the coins and the goods and things, but I really try to strive for maximum forge point production. So it's not really necessary to put it into your city until you have all of the upgrades, because I could put something like a dark doorway in its place and I get 3 forge points for it. So really be mindful. If it's not even a level 6, it really doesn't even give you hardly anything, even goods-wise and things. So really be conscientious about what level and if it's a maximum event level into your city. If it's maximum level, it'll give you maximum forge points and maximum all the other goodies too. Okay. Along with that, during events, there'll be certain production buildings that could be won. So these are really helpful for newbies. For instance, this is a shrunken treasure, and this came from the Pirates quest, but it does have a 24-hour option of a forge point. So it's only a 2x3 building, so it doesn't take up too much space, and it does give you forge points. I highly suggest this for newbies. I'll actually show you the one that I used. I had a couple of these, but I kept one around so that I could show you. So this masquerade ball came all the way from early Middle Ages, and it gives you 2 forge points for a 24-hour production. But I had a couple of these going, and granted they are bigger, but when you're littler, any forge points that you can get help you just with growing. So very, very helpful, those buildings. I also wanted to show you the cider mill, which is a great building to have. So seeing just that upgrade option on it, even if it's a level, even if it's, oh, it doesn't show me. Oh, I can't even see what level it is. But if it's at this level, it only gives you 3, whereas the maximum level of it is a 7. They all have different names. That's why. But even like, so this mill, this is just an example. I have a max in my city. I don't know which one, but let's just pretend I have this guy. So it gives you 3 forge points. But let's say you have a level 4 in your city. It doesn't give you any forge points at all. So really be mindful about what you place and wait until it's all the way full. This kind of brings me over to the antique dealer. So this is a great new feature. You can purchase buildings that are really helpful from past events, etc. Kits, everything. Check here daily. These are where you're going to find really good I want to say discounts on things. Yes, a lot of these buildings do show up in the bid auction area, but some of these can get pretty darn high, and it's not necessarily worth it if you can be patient and wait for them to come here. The things that you're going to really want to look for in your antique dealer are the cider mill and the cider mill upgrades. You're going to want to look for Indian palace set, the Indian fountain set, the dark doorways, the cherry garden sets, and also those pillars. I like them because they're smaller and they do give you a lot. So you'll find them either the buildings kind of alone, or there'll also be like this kit over here that you can purchase as well. So keep your eye out for those. Check daily. They are very, very useful. I want to show you what some of those are just up close, just so that you can see. So we're going to start with the garden set. So this garden set, it'll even show you what they look like, how to set them up. Garden set goes up to a level 2. So you might find a level 1, but if you get an upgrade kit, you can upgrade it to a level 2, and that's for each one of these. It gives forge points, attack bonuses, goods, coins, things like that. That's a great one to be on the lookout for. This is my personal favorite. It is the palace set, mostly because of this right here. The palace itself gives you a lot of forge points, but they've got to be connected. So make sure all of these are touching each other. Kind of like with a maximum event building, if you don't have all of the parts for these sets, it's not always worth putting it in your city quite yet, because it's not going to get that maximum bonus. They all have to be touching each other at the same time to get the max benefit out of it. That one's fantastic. The fountain I have in my city, but I'll show you this one just because it's easier. So there it is. Make sure they're all touching, same kind of deal. The dark doorway I showed you in my city, which is over here, and then also that pillar. This is the fully upgraded. So those are the ones to kind of keep your eye out for, along with the cider mill. Those are fantastic for your cities. The last kind of big areas that I want to talk about are during the events, not specifically this one, but in past events, like the soccer event where there's leagues, there's a chance that you can place in a league and then you get a kit. And in those kits, yes, you can start building some of those, but then there's also things like forge points within those kits that you can access. Even this one has a kit too, so 25. So those are really helpful for you. Then let's see, GE. So in GE with that relic hunt, there's 2 buildings in particular that I want you guys to be aware of. One of them is the Terraced Farm. The Terraced Farm, I've actually seen most when you complete 64 encounters or the end of level 4 in Guild Expedition. I think I've maybe only gotten one once in a Jade Relic in the 3 years that I've been playing. So all of these that you see came from finishing level 4. It's always really helpful to try to keep at least one of these or a tribal square or something. Let me show you what those look like really quick. In your city for goods. So here they are. Just because as you age up, you still need past era goods. So having options that are within that era is really, really helpful. But the Terraced Farm, all of these, they cap the same. All of them are 5 forge points per 1 day. All of them are 10 goods per 8 hours, but the goods are specific to that era. So those are very, very helpful. Then this one is very helpful for newbies. This is actually what I highly recommend. So Shrines of Knowledge are a little bit harder to come by, but Sacred Skywatches are a little bit easier. So I find most of my Sacred Skywatches in relics through that use of the temple TOR, but these are a 3x2 building and they do give you 1 forge point. Granted, I know it's not maximizing space immediately, but as you find shrines, you can put them in place of a Sacred Skywatch. At one time when I was littler, I think I had about 16 Sacred Skywatches in my city, and then they slowly were all replaced with these shrines as I got them, won them, things like that. Those are really, really useful for getting that forge points. Don't waste putting a Reno kit or an one-up kit on any of those because they don't increase forge points. Just keep them as is. The last area actually that I want to talk about is settlements. So the settlements, there's Japanese and there's the Vikings. Each one comes with 2 different buildings that you can win. Right now within the Japanese, there's the settlement reward for finishing the settlement. This round you get a temple upgrade, and if we click on it, there's quite a few of these, but at level 9 you get 12 forge points per area of this. So this is worth repeating, finish that settlement and get it done. If you can get it within the time frame, you can earn a timeless dojo. I have one at max in my city already, and I'm working on a second one, but this is a 3x3 building, and it does give you 4 forge points, so super helpful there. So once again, that's for the Japanese. You also earn emissaries there, and that's where they help in your town hall. The last one, this one is from Vikings, and I'm going to butcher the name, but it's like Yggdrasil tree. This is the maximum that it gives you, which is 8 forge points, and it is a 30% attack boost, which is fantastic. A little bit harder to get these greater runestones because they didn't have the marketplace within the Vikings, but that's okay. Mine only got to a level 3. I still keep it around because it does give a good and some small medals, but it's pretty tiny. It's a baby. Let me peek on here. I think I covered everything that I wanted to, but let me check just to make sure. All right, yes, I did. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for sticking through and listening to both parts. Hopefully it's helped and you can gain even more forge points to have lots of fun. Bye, guys.